Alright, time for another draftphysics.com. Debatephysics.com. That's the place to be. Frankly, I just like people to debate the arguments made in the, there's so many individual little aspects of physics that can be debated, and no one will debate them, though. All the different experiments and what you can interpret from those experiments. And nope, nobody really interested. So anyway, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. See if we can get somebody to participate in some sort of reasoned discussion about why. So anyway, right now we have flat earthers, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to play with that for a while and see where it goes. So Basin Bass Guy says, it's interesting flat earther comment on a video regarding gravity. Well, almost anything, right? I mean, look, if the earth was flat, there's certain expectations I would have about what I should be able to see, and frankly, I should be able to see New York at night. I should be able to see lots of things because, the earth is flat. I should just be able to look over there and it should be right over there happening. It's almost like every time there was a rocket launch from Florida, I should be able to see it technically, but it's making a hell of a lot of photons, and I should be able to see it, but nope, can't see it. Anyway, I have trouble even figuring out reasons to be a flat earther to begin with. Well, that's why I'm saying overtly is that it's really not about a flat earth, it's about some other agenda. And they just don't want to say what that agenda is, but there's clearly got to be one. I mean, we know some of them are creation scientists, and they just want to try to say that God made the world and he wouldn't make a round one, he'd make a flat one for some reason, I guess. I don't know why God was glued to a flat earth, but anywho, let alone how to map. I mean, there's so many things in the Bible that are ludicrous and stupid and that anybody could figure out, oh, well, that didn't really happen. Like rape a woman and then marry her. It's okay. You raped her, it's okay. As long as you keep raping her for the rest of her life, then it's okay. Oh, fuck. Let alone how to map a physical flat earth and how it works. Yes, it just doesn't really work, so can't model it with the evidence we have. It just doesn't fit the evidence. That model, flatness, doesn't fit anything. Okay. Like, is the moon flat also? That's a legitimate question. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think they concede the moon is round, but I don't really understand it, so I can't answer your questions. I don't know. I never went inside the flat Earth story, to get the inside doperoni. Like I said, I'm just concluding it's a fake. Just like I said, all the weeping for the poor fetuses by the religious right. All their weeping for the poor fetuses. It's just so insincere. Because they don't give a shit damn about it. The real babies. Alright. So this Jeep guy looks like he's another flat earther. We'll see. I don't understand the topic. So I'm sorry for you then. You're bad, I guess. I mean, I made it kind of clear that the video was a conversation about, some flat earther commented. I'm responding. I had made a previous video that he responded to. Blah, 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 blah. And your commentary shines a spotlight on your intellectual deficit. Gee, I could say that I could put that on any video on the internet. Your commentary shines a spotlight on your intellectual deficit there. I've done my job. Oh, God. You don't understand that it just shines a spotlight on your troll nature? That this is the kind of crap you would leave as a comment? You be ugly. Why don't you try that? Did you take your meds today? Anyway. So I bothered with a comment. Just I said, oh, what the fuck? Let's not bother blocking him. Let's just see what the fuck he's got going here. Let's play a little bit. How about providing some quotes from the video? Yes, that would be so spectacular. If you could actually point out what I said that was so offensive, to your intellectual giantness. Claim should come with evidence. You know, that's what the whole argument's about, is that physics makes a whole bunch of claims that don't have any evidence. It takes 9 times the gasoline to go 3 times faster. That's one of their claims. You know, that it's 100 times to go 10 times faster. That's even funnier. You know, you can just keep going with the crazy numbers. The faster you go, the less fuel efficient it is. That's their claim. Yeah, I know. It's pretty flat earthy, right? Yeah, it really is. All right. Should come with evidence. Yes, that's the whole point. At least smart people think so, yes. So that's what I said to him. And he says, I'll go through it again and pick out some highlights. Thank you. Gee, I hate to be bothering you with the fact that you really should have a detail. If you're going to call somebody an idiot or an asshole, you really ought to say why you think so. I mean, the exact nature of their assholeness. All right. It's a little arduous to watch. Well, I could probably say the same thing about anything you do. But your evidence is lacking. No, my evidence isn't lacking. Their evidence is lacking. See, I get to accuse them first. They've been making their assertions for 300 years. I've been making mine for 10. So they're still way behind in terms of the evidence pool. Fuckhead. All right, anyway, so he says, so he goes to the trouble to type this crap. I haven't read it yet, so we'll see what it says. All right, I don't fully understand your obsession associating finding truth with agenda. It's not an obsession, it's just a rational conclusion that somebody doesn't do something really bizarre and stupid without any reason at all. Okay, there is something in their head that's saying I'm accomplishing something. You know, you could see somebody like throwing a bunch of shit on the street. And you can say, well, what's that? Fuck, he's not throwing it on the street just for the fun of it. So I guess he had a fight with his girlfriend and he's throwing all her shit onto the street. You know, there's some reason he's doing the crazy thing. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's called logic. You see some facts that don't really make any sense and you say, oh, okay. The truth is nothing doesn't make sense, okay? There really is always a cause and effect. And so you can find it if you go, you know, you sit there and think about it for a while and then you notice certain things that, oh, these are all feminine items. Oh, okay. And then you could deduce what the fuck's going on. But hey, to each his own. Well, fuck you. I'm not really a big fan of to each his own. I think everybody should be obligated to be reasonable and fair and honest. I mean, frankly, I would just shoot people who are dishonest. I mean, I wish we had the capacity to see inside each other's heads and see what the fuck where our agendas are. And then we could just shoot all the dishonest people because I'm sick of this shit. Fucking ruins everything about civilization, all this dishonesty that exists. So yeah, you people that have some other agenda, okay, you just want to make the gears break. You're not really interested in any other project than fucking things up. You know, you're just pouring sugar in gas tanks or something. Your understanding with day and night on Earth is the tell. Oh, so the fact that somebody says flat Earth and I say, what the fuck? You mean there's people on both sides of the flatness? Shit, I had no idea that's what you thought. How thick is the flat Earth? I'm just curious. All right, wait. If the sun is 93 million miles from Earth, yet I can travel thousands of miles and experience a completely different climate. Yes, and the climate's controlled by a thing called the atmosphere. See, if there wasn't an atmosphere, there wouldn't be no fucking climate. So all the planets, like the moons even, the moon is a good example. There's no atmosphere. So guess what? If sun hits something, it gets hot. Period. Now, there's always going to be less. Obviously, if you hit something flat, all of the little rays hit this thing, you know. So if your surface is at an angle, then you're going to have more reflected light. So you're not going to get as hot, but you're going to reflect more light the steeper the angle at which the light hits it. But generally speaking, the moon is hot evenly across its surface, except on those edges, then just the mountains get hot. You know, the surface that can stick up and catch the sunlight in a flat way. But yeah, that's what happens, okay? So climate is atmospheric, okay? The fact is that the sunlight has to travel through more sunlight and that's why it's colder at the poles. All right. So it's not a very brilliant comment by you, right? So somebody who's pretending to be Mr. Smarty, you're talking kind of dummy. Okay. Keep in mind the size of the Earth in relation to the sun. Yeah, who cares? We already know that a certain amount of sunlight comes through every meter. You could draw anywhere in space. Okay, between me and the sun, I could just draw a meter, and at different locations, there's going to be a different number of photons that go through that meter. And it's just, that's just a fact. The closer I get, the more light, by the inverse square rule. Let's see, solar ice. So why are we bothering with this? Solar ice caps? Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck? What the hell are you talking about? Solar ice caps? Why would there be an ice cap on the sun? The sun doesn't need the sun to hit the sun. I mean, the sun isn't being heated by the external universe. I mean, well, look, I'm not going to get into a really technical argument. I mean, it's being heated by gravity, but the heat is coming from the inside out. Do you understand thermodynamics? Well, apparently you don't. Equator tropical ice caps frozen. Equator tropical, maybe you should go ... ice caps frozen. Yeah, again, it's all atmosphere. Do you see the error in the hypothesis? No, of course I don't. Oh, brother. The size of the sun and its distance is the logical fallacy. So again, you're saying the sun is what, 15 miles away? What's your theory? Oh, it's just, it's just like, what are you doing this for? So again, what's the agenda? You've thrown all this crap you're throwing on the street, like you believe the sun has ice caps or something. What the fuck are you talking about? How far away the sun is. Oh, Jesus. And don't get me started on the gravity nonsense. Well, look, the original video was explicitly on the gravity subject. So you're just not really paying any attention to the continuity of what's happening on my page. And you're just saying somehow I'm not doing your agenda. Well, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing your agenda. It's simply buoyancy and density in the medium it travels through. So again, you're saying empty space is a medium it's traveling through. Fine. Show me a piece of evidence. Okay. No imaginary force, says you. There's a real force. I mean, I don't care. You want to call it Forex? You want to call it booger? It's okay with me. The booger gravity. I don't care what you call it. The fact is there's this phenomenon, and you have to explain its existence. Oh, shit. I mean, again, I'm not going to really argue with somebody who says they didn't land on the moon, they didn't drop a hammer, they didn't drop a feather, they didn't do this, they didn't... I mean, there's no point. There's lots of evidence, okay, that gravity is everywhere. All right. No imaginary force holding us to the underside of a spinning ball. I don't know what the underside of a ball would be. That's the whole relativity argument. It really doesn't have an underside. It's basic observation versus elementary school physics for children. Well, elementary school children, by a huge majority, okay, seem to not be able to understand your theory. I mean, by a huge majority. I mean, there's less children who believe in a flat earth than there are adults. So something happened in your childhood where you went from being rational and human and, all that stuff, being a participant in a civilization and a culture, to being some anti-character who decided, I'm going to destroy it all. So instead of becoming, I don't know, a school shooter or something, you decided to do this instead. Okay, you're all pissed off. You got an ingrown hair in your penis or something, and you're just really pissed off. And so you're just going to do this, whatever this is. You're going to just pour shit into the gears. All right, your understanding on... So you didn't quote anything I said. So you said you were going to quote something I said. You didn't do that. I asked you to quote something I said in the video that was just so offensive. That just proves I'm stupid. You didn't do that. Your understanding on day and night is the tell. So that's the same comment again. All right, sun 93 million miles away, Earth 25,000 miles in circumference. Okay, so you're conceding those points for some reason. Yeah, again, it has nothing to do with the shape of the object. It has to do with the fact that the light has to travel through the atmosphere. And if it doesn't, the atmosphere is what's holding all the heat. The whole greenhouse thing is going to happen because of the atmosphere, not because there's no atmosphere. It's because there is an atmosphere. If there wasn't an atmosphere, it would be hot as hell, every day, and cold as shit every night. The shit really isn't cold, but anyway, you get, Do you see the problem with your hypothesis? No, of course I don't. And don't get me started on your gravity nonsense. So I don't know, he typed the same thing again. So yes, obviously maybe he's a little bit schizoid. Buoyancy and density through the different mediums said object travels. Whatever. No imaginary force holding people in Australia upside down in relation to us. Observation versus elementary school physics. So again, the people in Australia are experiencing the same thing we are, which is the force is hitting every object in the universe. So if there was a sun in 4 locations, let's say, we had 4 suns, and you could, we're just thinking in 2 dimensions, and you're going to hit the Earth with sunlight on all sides. So the bottom gets just as much sunlight as the top. You could understand that, if the sun was pushing them onto the surface of the Earth, you could sort of understand they'd all get pushed the same. Well, that's what gravity is. Gravity is invisible suns, producing a force that's in the universe. And frankly, even though the force is going in all kinds of directions, no matter where I put something in space, it's going to push on it as if it was the only thing in space. Everything is going to sit in its position and say, how come everybody's against me? Because everything's going to be hitting it, as far as it's concerned, okay? But yeah, lots of stuff is hitting all the other stuff too. It's pressure. But wow. So, I mean, really, it just... So yes, you are interesting as... I wish this was like the psychiatric channel, and then we could discuss what the fuck is going on with this guy that... What, he hasn't heard of an atmosphere? No, of course he has heard of atmosphere. There's no way somebody hasn't said the word atmosphere to him before. In terms of when he's made this statement about how come it's not as hot, everywhere at the same time. I mean, it's such an obvious... Of course he's heard it. And he just ignored it, And he keeps using the same bullet that doesn't come out of the gun. He just keeps putting the same bullet that doesn't work. He keeps putting it in the gun and keeps trying to shoot somebody. And it just doesn't work. But he just keeps trying. So, I don't know. It really is... It's really hard to understand people. All right, so we'll dispense with that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I gotta turn this off. Okay, and then I'll just read a portion. I did get an email reply, so I didn't know there was a thing called Google Meet. So they changed Hangouts to Meet Outs. So whatever. So that's good news that there is an option anyway. Okay, and it appears to be for free. So it does the StreamYard thing, except it's the Google Meet thing. So if somebody does want to do a Google Meet, somebody who's not a flat earther, the invitation is open to somebody who wishes to discuss actual physical experiments and what you can rationally interpret from them. Great. All right, so he says... I only do practical physics. I'm not really into debating ideas. So how do you make that distinction? I mean, practical physics is about ideas. I mean, you can't really get around it. I mean, the whole point is assertions about what the truth is. And you're saying the truth is the world is flat, and I'm saying, well, goddamn, of course the truth is that it's a sphere. So, why are you arguing with people? Why did you argue with that kid if you're not into debating ideas? Did you just think he was just going to say, "Oh yeah, sure, you're right. It's flat. That's for sure. Flat as flat could be. I mean, yeah, really flat." All right. Anyway, for me, reality is singular. Well, what does that mean? For me, reality is real, okay? And what's not real is the crap in people's heads in terms of being a real model of reality. That people are modeling it all wrong. They're drawing all kinds of wrong conclusions. I mean, they're seeing somebody throw the shit on the street and they're making up some wackier story. The Gremlins did it. Some kind of shit like that. That are gremlins are in a, they actually killed the guy who lives in the apartment and they've invaded inside of his skin, and the gremlins are making him do silly and crazy stuff. I mean, I could have that theory that you're really just a bunch of gremlins, and and they ate your insides, and now they're just running your body and making it look like you're, human. I can make up all kinds of crap, okay? And yeah, somebody could waste time trying to debunk the theory for which I have no evidence. But yes, until there's some reason to say, hey, that's plausible. Until there's a plausibility element, you really don't waste your time. So you have to wait till somebody shows up with a plausible argument. All right. For me, reality is singular. Amazing. I mean, I just would never even imagine saying that. Like, I could probably live 1,000,000 years and it wouldn't occur to me to say, for me, reality is singular. As opposed to what? Yeah, I don't even know. Like, reality is dark. I guess I could say that. As opposed to light. I mean, singular as opposed to what? There's more than one reality? Well, of course, there's not more than one. So if there's only one of them, why wouldn't you be willing to debate what the one thing is? Well, anyway, it's not an idea to be won or lost by rhetoric. And you seem the king of rhetoric. I mean, that's all you have is rhetoric. It's just, this is more of this psycho-babbly kind of stuff. I don't mean people making claims as long as they have practical reference. So I reference to what? To me, they have to have a reference to evidence, not a reference to, well, Bob says so. Obviously, that Jeep guy believes what I believe. Yeah, there's a reference. Jeep guy believes it. I mean, I don't have Skype, but I'll discuss on Google Meet. Yes, okay. So good. Well, we'll see what happens. If I guess it'd be interesting just to see if a flat earther can understand that there's all kinds of reasons to think physics is full of shit. And you've chosen all the wrong reasons. There's all kinds of shit they say that you can prove, in a sense, logically prove is not possible. That, one thing they say one day doesn't fit with the thing they say the other day. And that you can prove that they have a contradiction, that their theory is broken. And you're wasting your time arguing about flat Earth. I mean, if you want to get the man, okay, this ain't the way to get him. You ought to get him with the actual mistakes that physics makes. The actual errors. And such. All right, well, I'll take a little pause and see if there's anything else to it, but I don't think there's much else to comment on. All right, back. I guess I could turn this on. Didn't work. Not interesting. Somehow it lost the window. I don't know. Sorry, just it is kind of funny when stuff happens, just doesn't make any sense. Channel comments and mentions. That's not going to work. I don't know. Well, let me hit it, see what happens. Yeah, see, it's not channel comments. Anyway, computer be stupid. So this is some flat earther. It was just kind of coincidental. So the day I titled the video, Theory of Everything, T-O-E, yeah. And then put a date on it for 2004. He did exactly the same thing, which is just kind of funny. Some guy called John Hodge. Anyway, some ether nutter, frankly. And so I haven't gone through all of what he's talking about here, but it is interesting because he did reference Newton's optics. And it is curious that, Newton at the end of that book, which was written well after the Principia, was, he did have a lot of these whatever QU things, where he just posed questions like, are you as dumb as a flat earther, and do you believe, that kind of stuff, just rhetorical questions in a way, pointing out how something really can't be believed credibly, and so there must be a better answer. And so he doesn't explicitly say that gravity is a particle force, but he pretty much, does describe the fact that it does work as, a discrete pressure force. So there are different things in there that might be of some use to me in pointing out how what Newton did actually believe and didn't believe. And clearly there was nothing in there indicating he believed in 1/2 mv squared. So again, no chance that he was a Leibnizian. Okay. And anyway, so that's, I haven't played the whole video, so I haven't seen what the punchline of his theory is yet. It's some sort of ether theory, they're all, I don't know why all the dissidents are obsessed with this fucking making the universe out of jello. I know it has something to do with God. Somehow, somewhere in the Bible, there must be some reference to the jello of the universe or something, or some reason to believe the universe is made out of jello. But I don't know. I haven't seen the reference. But anyway, it is just so depressing that smart people are fools, and fools are even bigger fools, are like double fools, and that's all there are on this planet. Dupes, assholes, fools, shit talkers, morons, fucktards. It's just covered in brains not working very well, unfortunately. So, I must live an isolated life, far, far away from the imbeciles. Anyway, as far as you can get when you're in your basement, in my safe room. Anyway, fuck. It just really is dismal. And that's all you can say. It's just damn dismal. So, till the next time and such, when I will continue to endeavor to persevere in the dismalocracy and such, and so forth and whatnot. Until dead, I guess. That's all you get. It's just smell the shit and die. Great. Jeez. Just too stupid.